What up, everyone? Here, D-Boy here. This is another what if, or this is a what if video basically of what if could have happened in the NBA. Like, say any trades that could have happened, any teams that if they play now, how would they be playing? All of that stuff basically just put into videos, which I do lots of. And this one is now about what if James Harden was still at OKC, and the only time OKC actually went to a finals with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook was when there was James Harden. So I decided to put James Harden into it, see if he stayed there and how he'll be performing this season, especially now with like the reign of Stephen Curry, Golden State Warriors, and all that. As the league's getting kind of more competitive and it's becoming a one-sided race. Not that I even like Golden State, I actually don't like them. But all I'm going to do is simply to the end of the season, see how they're going to fare well, and they lose the first game against San Antonio Spurs. But I reckon they can have a pretty good season, depending on which way all this league goes. Which way, depending on how they play, how they perform. This James Harden is just the one from the Houston Rockets. Didn't bother to take him off from any other team or create him, because I thought this would pretty much be him right now. But I think his rating would a 92 would be too high for him if he's at OKC, because he will definitely be a reign of terror from Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. And if you're looking the way he's played, it's looked better when he was at Houston. He became more of a top 10 player when he's at Houston. But at the end of the season, I'm going to check his stats. I also done the swap between him and Ibaka. So Ibaka goes to Houston Rockets because if I can remember, OKC couldn't afford to keep to pay the salary of both Ibaka and James Harden. So they decided to give away James Harden and keep Ibaka. Which in my case, I think that was maybe a bit of a bad idea, because they might have been able to get like another person in Ibaka's position, as he's not like that once, the player that you can never replace. But that's just my opinion. So Ibaka's at Houston Rockets. I might check out Houston Rockets are also doing throughout the table. It depends. I mean, throughout the league, it depends. As you can see in the top right, we're first in the conference, first in division, so we're definitely taking over the Western Conference. And we're in pretty good roll. What a roll, to be honest here. And more wins, a 10-game win streak just put to an end there. But here's the end of the season. Beat the Lakers, beat the San Antonio Spurs. The MVPs, Kevin Durant, Karl-Anthony Towns, Joakim Noah, DeAndre Jordan, CJ McCollum, and Billy Donovan, as you normally would expect. Now, this is to see, let's see here. So, the All-NBA first team, all person that makes is Kevin Durant. Understandable as he is the MVP. In the second team, you can see Russell Westbrook and James Harden, which I did not expect to see both of them two in the All-NBA second team, which is a bit of a surprise. So he's definitely had a good season. Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry, Oklahoma City defensive team there. And so overall, it's a pretty good season. Now, here I'm just going to check the stats, how everyone's been performing, because definitely must have had some good work going into the season. So, if we look this season here, 24 points per game, a bit lower than last season, but you can deal with that. 0.1 rebounds, more, barely a change in rebounds per game. More assists per game though from last season. The same amount of steals per game. Blocks per game we don't really mind about that much. 42% I think from the 3-point line. So that's a pretty good season, and upgrade, as his first season he's shooting 40% from the 3-point. Kevin Durant, as usual, having a great season here as the MVP. That's what you expect. So I'm not going to worry too much about him. 43%. That's great. And Russell Westbrook, definitely going higher on his percentage for the 3-point field. 3-point percentage. He's had 8 less points per game. That's gone a bit low, but he's definitely getting more rebounds per game. And just a slight decrease in assists per game. But apart from that, he's had a pretty productive season. So I'm just gonna sim this round by round. I think Minnesota Timberwolves definitely not gonna get that win there. Next is the LA Clippers. I think we got them in this round. And if you look at the season, 71-11, 71 wins and only 11 loses this season. Definitely way better than the LA Clippers. And if we do go against Golden State, I want to see their record. But we managed to beat them in a 5-game series. So if you compare, Golden State had no match for OKC because OKC managed to get a lot of wins there. So let's simulate. I'm going to simulate this one game at a time. They take the first one, so I think pretty confident. A 7-game series, but they managed to qualify. And Chicago Bulls with a 4-game sweep. Not even a game for Cleveland. Coming second in the Eastern Conference, Chicago. They must have definitely had a great season there. But we're going to simulate the current round. As you can see, not even close with the same records. Eastern Conference must have been light. And OKC, finally, or not finally, but they managed to get that win. So Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant can now finally pick up their rings with James Harden, who also gets a ring. And OKC managed to win this. Now, I think OKC could have won this the first time, maybe because they were against a strong Miami team. But now with LeBron and Cleveland, things have changed. I mean, the Bulls team, pretty strong team. I mean, Derrick Rose, let's look in this season, 18.7 points. He had a pretty decent season, but as you can see, I think you can blame his team. James Harden with 43 points. Dizzy Huber, who's the Finals MVP. Well, okay, it didn't show the Finals MVP, seeing as that was seasons. But as you can see there, James Harden definitely has an impact on the team, bringing OKC and helping Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook to a championship. LSP.